I don't know if you've heard of Solamere, but that is Tagg Romney's private equity fund. Now, it's an interesting fund because it actually puts together other private equity funds, and it is a fund of funds, if you will. Sounds kind of badass, right? Well, they have $232 million to their name, and that's the amount of money that they are investing. So in some sense, it is badass. Mitt Romney started it, gave his son $10 million in seed money, and they're also invested in the company as well, obviously through that and through other things. And Romney's blind trust is not so blind. There's some of that money involved. There's other relatives of the Romneys that are involved in Solamere. Now, this is not something that's private. Everybody knows this is public information. If you ask Tagg Romney, do you have this fund? Absolutely. Did your dad give you the $10 million? Yeah, absolutely. So this is all public information. Now, one of the funds that Solamere invests in is called H.I.G. Capital. There's no dispute about that either. H.I.G. Capital, in fact, there's no dispute about any of these facts. H.I.G. Capital also holds a majority share, and 3 out of the 5 board members are on the board of Hart Intercivic. Hart Intercivic. Okay, so Hart Intercivic basically owned majority shares by H.I.G. Capital. H.I.G. Capital is one of the funds in Solamere. Okay, now what does Hart Intercivic do? They run voting machines. They're the nation's 3rd largest voting machine manufacturer. Now, is there some sort of allegations of fraud? No, we haven't even voted yet. It's 2 weeks before the election. Is there some conspiracy that since they own the voting machines, they will rig them so that Mitt Romney wins? No. There is no such thing. There's no proof of that because, again, we haven't even voted yet. So how would we? That's not what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody's saying that, okay? Certainly not what I'm saying. But is it an interesting fact that the Romneys, in a very clear line, own a lot of the voting machines, including ones that go in Ohio? That would seem to be really weird, wouldn't it? I don't mean that they're going to do the fraud. And I'm not saying that just to cover myself. I really mean that. I don't think they're going to Tagg Romney is going to order in fraud. And you can call me naive, okay? But it doesn't really matter. My point is, it's unacceptable that one of the candidates running for office owns the voting machines. I mean, anybody that just steps back for a second and realizes that goes, well, that's obviously mental. I mean, think about it this way. Let's take a different country. Imagine in Venezuela if Hugo Chavez owns the voting machines that they're voting either for him or against them on. What would we say about that? Our president would be like, oh, I guess Hugo Chavez won. If you count him on the voting machines owned by Hugo Chavez. And what do you think that they would say if the Mahmoud Ahmadinejad owned the voting machines that the Iranians ran the elections on? Come on, you know the answer, right? But in our system, we're like, what do you mean? How dare you? Chuck Todd of NBC News just sent out a tweet earlier saying, oh, this is crazy conspiracy stuff, just like the birthers. Oh, crazy, crazy. No, but wait a minute, there is no conspiracy. It's a fact that the Romney family in some way owns those voting machines, including in the critical state of Ohio. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't there be a law against owning the voting machines that you're getting votes on when you're running for president? Shouldn't we let somebody else own those voting machines? And much more importantly, shouldn't we be able to verify those in several different ways? Now, unfortunately, a lot of these voting machines, after they vote, there's no paper trail, and they go, oh, no, don't worry, the computer would never make a mistake. Forget conspiracies, forget ownership. How many times has your computer made a mistake, right? Of course, computers make mistakes. Of course, they should be verified in at least 2 or 3 different ways. And of course, the guy running in the election shouldn't have some ownership over the voting machines. These are the most obvious things in the world. But yet, even if you just bring that fact up, you get accused of being a conspiracy theorist. Oh, yeah, I like the birthers. Get out of here. Go. But wait, Chuck, do they own the machines or do they not own the machines? Isn't that weird? I'm not saying this election is too late. What are you going to do? Have them divest 2 weeks before the election? It's not too late to verify. We should definitely do that. But in the next set of elections, maybe we should pass a law saying, hey, a guy who is in the election can't own the machines we vote on. Oh, you crazy conspiracy theorist. No, that's just the most logical thing in the world.